Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. I just came across a little video about a felon being sentenced in a Nevada courtroom. And he's pleading for leniency, as people are prone to do. And then the judge basically says, I don't think so, not this time, which indicates he's been in trouble before. But just as she begins to say, according to the laws of Nevada, he literally leaps like an NFL football tackle, leaps over what is easily a 5-foot raised bench and gets a hold of the judge. Now, I'm going to try to include a link to the video in question so you can see it yourself, but Silverlight is a little bit athletic, even to his old age. And when I was younger, I don't think I could have made that jump. So we have to look at what's going on in this case. The person is totally calm one moment. We'll call him the accused. He's sentenced now, so we could call him the guilty, but I'm going to still call him the accused just out of personal courtesy. It's obviously an emotional moment because he's talking about it's been a long time since I did anything wrong, and because of that. Now, the question is, the news sources that we have at present aren't really telling us his past, which is just right and true. Because what he did in the past shouldn't have any bearing on the present, aside from sentencing. Because sentencing is both rehabilitation and it's punishment. And this judge has had enough. She's like, nope, I'm not seeing enough evidence that you've reformed here, so I'm going to go ahead and do what I have to do. Gets a little bit of a beat down towards the end. It looks like initially the court security people, I don't know whether they're sheriffs, bailiffs, or whatever the heck they are, they're obviously there dressed in their suits, they got their gloves on to handle people, but I'm not familiar enough with the laws of Nevada nor court procedures, so I don't pretend to assume to know what their jobs are, but obviously they're there to guard the judge. The judge certainly didn't see it coming, and I can tell you, the courtrooms in my area, they're very Victorian, and I think they're well set up for security. There's, again, Silverlight has never been in trouble criminally, but he has had to go there for tickets and stuff like that. And in front of the judge is like a stenographer and I'm guessing an admin person that handles the files. Don't know, I've watched them for brief periods of time, but you're more waiting for your name to be called. And since my cases have all been brief, I don't know about, but to get to the judge would require 2 pretty big leaps of faith, and I have no idea what those women are capable of. They might be file clerks, they might be jiu-jitsu experts. There's no way of knowing. But for this guy to make that leap, he had to go from 0 to 100 because his voice perfectly calm. Now, is there a possibility that this is a psychologically unstable person who needs help that the state needs to provide? It's possible, but I'm not a medical doctor. I don't want to provide that as a diagnosis. He's obviously upset and stressed out. There's no way the average person is walking to a courtroom and not feeling a fair amount of anxiety and being stressed out, especially if it looks like the evidence is against them. And people do stupid things in the heat of the moment. But if you accept one piece of advice the Silverlight has to offer, never go after positions of authority, because they always have backup. Rambo was an entertaining movie, but the truth is, you can't beat the cops because there's more of them than there are of you. And in a courtroom, you're in a confined environment, you have no chance. Don't pick a fight. But I imagine most of my listeners will never be in that situation. I'm just stunned and impressed by, okay, there's so many judge shows on, and usually there's a bailiff or, some big meaty person that's standing there, you know, looking scary. Look back at the old specials of Night Court. Bull was huge, and they had either a granny figure or they had Rosalind standing there, and Rosalind had the attitude, you don't want to mess with me. And even the older ladies who were there, they were sweet, but they had the ability to talk a person down in one word. The judge didn't have a chance to talk. I think she was too shocked. And who wouldn't be when somebody's literally flying because I didn't see him put a hand down. It might be the quality of the video, it might be a lot of things, but he literally leapfrogged that table. And he had her by the hair, and it's just like, wow, it's astonishing anybody is capable of that. Could it be substances? Possibly. Again, I don't know enough, and there's not enough evidence on this already. Could it be just sheer dumb luck? Possibly. Now, the only part that confuses me is after this happens, there's a bit of a beatdown going on. And it's very hard to tell whether the accused is still attacking the judge or, they're trying to restrain him. If they're trying to restrain him, this would be the point to get to the judge, get her out of trouble, and restrain him, get reinforcements in, etc. If they're just wailing on him because he's moving, that's a touch of police brutality. And that may in fact be the result this guy was trying to go for. Unfortunately, he preempted any charges of police brutality by committing assault and an action of contempt of court, in which they're allowed to use reasonable force to restrain you. I think they went a little beyond reasonable force, but if the guy's not going down like it looks like, you got to do what you got to do. There's this guy just punching him in the back. I'm assuming he's going for kidney shots. And it doesn't look like a lot, but trust me, repeated kidney shots is going to bring most of the population down. It's exceedingly painful. If you've had one, you know what I mean. If you haven't had one, I hope you never know what I mean. But trust me, it's really painful. Really wish we knew what this person did, because it would make the situation around it understandable. Because we just get those few moments between the accused pleading for lenience, saying he's getting better, and the judge saying, no, that's not what's going to happen here. Then, like I said, all hell breaks loose. And it's only seconds. It's like an NHL hockey fight at that point. It's over and done with before you know it. The people inside the fight are surely traumatized. I hope the judge is not poorly affected. Like, she had her hair yanked. That I know. Looks like she took a shot to the face. But, again, the angle is coming almost from behind. So it's really tough to tell what's going on. I hope the accused doesn't get in as much trouble as I think he's going to get into, because, yeah, whatever he was accused of is going to be insignificant compared to what they tack onto it, and he's going to wind up in another court, and it would take balls of steel, as the expression goes, to try to plead, oh no, I was bad then, but I'm better now. Now it's interesting for the accused to go on that as his plea for leniency. I got a family to feed, I'm better. He didn't include anything on the video besides, I'm better than I was before. And maybe that's an artifact of the video starting and stopping where it is. But you would think, hey, I'm a good guy now, is not the defense you'd want to go with. Hey, I got myself a job. I got myself an apartment and I'm keeping up on the payments. Here's a note from my landlord and stuff. Here's some character references at my job that say I'm the cool guy and who's cool under fire and all that sort of stuff. But no, it goes right from his plea and she's ready to sentence. As far as I know, that means something was cut. Because they give you a chance to say something, and the court always has a certain procedure that they follow. You know, the plaintiff stands up and makes their case, the defendant responds, they go back and forth for a bit. Is that everybody's case? Okay. You find them innocent or guilty. Arguments, what are they called? Victim impact statements are read, and then the defendant can say, wait, but I'm a good guy now, or whatever his case might be. And that's fair. But in this case, I'm not seeing the break between the judge saying, tell me what you want. She seems to be into sentencing already, by which time it's really far too late to start begging that you're a good person. There was a phase in the court for that. And that's what I'm curious about. Because believe it or not, if that isn't declared and on the record, technically they have a mistrial. Which means this whole thing is going to happen again. Hopefully this time with nobody getting hurt. But I digress. I'm going to try to include the link so that way you can watch the video yourself. I hope you never find yourself in this situation, but like I said, no matter who you are, no matter who you think you are, you're going to lose against the police because they have other police. And those police have SWAT teams, and those SWAT teams have access to the police in the areas next door, and they have access to the military, and there's even the best trained among us have no chance against that. And this guy attacking somebody in the courtroom, it's definitely desperation. You can choose for yourself how you want to interpret it, but it's astonishing. First, the athleticism. Secondly, the audacity. So with that, we wish to bring this to a close. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Silverlight Show. If you did, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to tell your friends to listen in. We're back on a regular recording contract. So there should be something at least during the 5 days of the week, if not the weekend as well. Don't forget to click the bell down in the comment section so that way you can be notified every time there's a new episode of the Silverlight Show. We hope you have a fantastic day.